I've definitely had my fair share of struggles, physically, mentally, in my business, in my relationships over, the last 10 years of my life. And I've been up and down with that. And what I found is that I kind of got really weak mentally. I lacked discipline. I lacked focus, and it really fucked up my entire life and put me in a really bad spot. So on this podcast, I wanted to talk about something that truly changed my life positively forever, the 75 Hard Challenge. And it's been something that got me in a different place, helped me quit making excuses for myself, helped me realize what's important and prioritize. And I wanted to share it with the rest of you because a lot of people that I talk to are struggling with their personal life, getting their shit in order and feeling like they just can't get ahead. And 75 Hard will change your life forever in the most positive way ever. So I want to share my journey with it, what I struggled with, and how 75 Hard can impact you and take you to another level and get you on the level where you can become what I call unfuckable with. I hope you enjoy the show. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soft Tissue Revolution podcast, where we show massage therapists how to make well over $100,000 per year, all while working less than 20 hours per week by learning to work smarter, not harder. Dr. Matt Maggio here. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I always say, the most valuable resource and the most unrenewable resource you have is your time and your energy, and the fact that you're willing to give me some of that valuable time and listen to what I have to say. That means the world to me. We get downloads like crazy, people reaching out all the time, and the Soft Tissue Revolution is growing. So before I get into the topic of the podcast, just a few housekeeping notes. We revamped the free training, a lot of good information out there. Go grab it. You really get a in-depth look at my system, the peak method, and it does back up the claims. Like I said in the intro, we will show you how to make $100,000 per year as a massage therapist working less than 20 hours per week. I don't think there's any system or method out there in the entire world that can say that and actually mean it, and no bullshit, no gimmicks, nothing like that. What else? In-person seminars, starting to open those up and taking some people for next year in 2022 that want to come to my clinic near Des Moines, Iowa. It'll be a 2-day intensive with me and 2 other practitioners. These have been absolutely amazing. We've been able to really dive in and get to some next level shit and take you to the next level and being that true soft tissue specialist in your area. I'm starting to get the schedule together for 2022 now that we're doing live seminars. So I haven't finalized it yet, and if you're in a city where you'd like me to come or a state where you'd like me to come, just send me a message. All the information and contact is in my show notes wherever you find it. All the courses are fully approved through CEUs. So enough of the housekeeping bullshit. All right, 75 Hard. I've talked about 75 Hard before. Those of you that don't know what it is, I'm going to kind of go just through the ins and outs of that. But basically, 75 Hard positively changed my life forever. And I can say that with a lot of confidence. It positively changed my life forever. One more thing on the housekeeping I forgot. Going forward, the podcast itself, it's going to come out weekly. I usually launch those on Wednesdays or Thursdays. They're going to be more tactical for your business, a little bit more motivational. I get a lot of people like, hey, can you give me some tactics, some motivation, some skills to go from there? And then on my YouTube channel, I've been very active lately on the YouTube channel. That's going to be more of like the injury stuff, treatment, critical thinking. I share a lot of information like muscle breakdowns and things like that. And also I'm going to start doing some weekly webinars to really help you get more information and just be a bad motherfucker in your area and help a lot of people. So 75 Hard positively changed my life forever. So I wanted to make a podcast about this. I do a lot of like mentorship and coaching with a lot of my other peak method trained practitioners. And one thing that I always find is that there's personal things in their life that are spilling over into their business. And I've been there as well. It's like, are you struggling in life, in your relationships, mentally, physically? Who the fuck knows? But I've been there. I still struggle, but I had for a very long time. So here's my struggles. And I kind of broke these down. Number one was just physical. I played football in college. Really got beat up. I was pretty healthy in college. I only hurt my back. I'm not healthy. I blew out some discs and things like that. But overall, I only had to miss 1 game ever in 4 years of college football. But I really beat the fuck out of my body. And today I'm paying for it with a lot of like neck pain, low back pain, things that really just kind of messed up my body. I'm not as bad as other people. I just talked to my best friend the other day, who was our running back, All-American running back. Look at me talking about glory days. He's 37. He just had a hip replacement the other day. And that really got me thinking, like, fuck, I'm glad I finally made the journey to start getting my physical health in a better place. But a lot of my degeneration, like I said, degeneration doesn't go away. It can just get worse. So you got to slow it down with proper things. I got really fat after college, like almost to the point where I was obese. I always justified my weight. I played football around 225. 2 or 3 years after college, I ballooned up to about 285, 290 at my heaviest. I was just fat. I was fat and overweight and just didn't take care of myself. And it just kind of goes and really adds up. I finally went back and looked at some old pictures. Right now, as I'm recording this, I think I weigh 197 pounds. And at my highest, I think I weighed like 293. So I've lost over 100 pounds, but I was fat as fuck and didn't take care of myself. And it's not fat shaming or anything like that. I just physically wasn't healthy. Mentally, I was just struggling. I was depressed, really depressed. And I always talk about depression. There's different types of depression, but the depression I was having wasn't like, oh, I'm sad and I don't want to do this. My depression was I'm doing all these things in my life and my business and trying to get ahead, and I'm not getting anywhere. And I felt like I was in that movie Groundhog Day where I was just going over and over again. And I was very suicidal. I don't talk about this a lot. I did share it on a podcast though, an older one, where I did attempt suicide, and it's something that was an awful day. Just a lot had ramped up. I lost my dad. I'd gotten divorced. I was overweight. I was miserable. I was depressed. If I would have known about 75 hard back then, I think it would have helped me, but luckily I didn't do it and I'm still here. My business was just kicking me in the ass, kicking me in the nuts every day. It was taking everything that I had, my mental, my physical space. I was putting so much of that into my business, and it was wrecking my body, wrecking my mind, wrecking my soul. I'll link up that podcast about my darkest day when I tried to commit suicide. I think it'll really let you know what kind of spot I was in. And then relationships. My relationship sucked. I had just recently got divorced. I was combative with everybody else. I was yelling at my staff, yelling at people around me, and I was just being a really shitty person. So that has been like up and down over the years. I've really got a lot of these things in order. I got the physical, the mental, the business stuff, and the relationships in a good place. But what I found was every once in a while that dark side would kind of kick in, and then I would feel it more and more, and those things would start to creep back. I don't think I ever fully dealt with a lot of them. I just kind of hit them under the rug, and then things started coming up, and I was like thinking more and more about 75 Hard. And if you haven't heard about 75 Hard, it was created by Andy Frisella. He's an awesome dude. I was actually in a mastermind with him called the Arte Syndicate. And he just created this program. So I've tried to go through 75 Hard a couple times. I did it back here, middle of the year in May. I got through 38 days and I was going pretty hard, but my mind wasn't right. I was just kind of doing it and it was a drag, and I was like, fuck, this is really hard. I don't know if I can get through it. And then my birthday hit and I'd been doing really good. And then I cheated on my diet, which is one of the tenets of the 75 Hard program. I'm going to go over those in a minute. And I like ate a piece of like red velvet cake because it was my birthday and I didn't even want it. It was like free with dinner. And I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, fuck, why did I even do this? And I realized I wasn't really dedicated. So I picked it back up here, beginning of July, and I just finished the whole program about a month ago. I talked about this, and on the last, I think it was day 65. I talked about this a few podcasts ago. I got COVID, but I still finished. It was hard. I went through that, but I still finished 75 Hard because I wasn't going to fuck around. And what I realized was I've completely changed as a human, and it positively changed my life forever. And I wanted to share this with you guys and share this with my listeners and people that are out there that are struggling and want to get to that next level physically, mentally, business, relationship, and just become a machine, become someone that's unfuckable with, because the world needs more of this. And what I'm seeing so many times with massage therapists and practitioners that I talk to is that their personal life is just in fucking shambles and they're not in control. And I've been there, and it bleeds over into their business. And it's like, they just live in chaos and they live in disorder. And I've been there, and it fucking sucks. And it's like, what can I do? And you want to do all these things, but you don't know where to start. 75 Hard is where to go, but it's only for people that truly want to change and make a difference. And they don't want to make excuses. I always say excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got them. So what is the 75 Hard program? It has a couple tenets. So for 75 days straight, You have to follow a diet and stick to it. No cheat meals whatsoever. Number 2, take a progress picture every day. That just kind of keeps you accountable. Number 3, 10 pages of reading a physical book, no audiobooks or anything like that. Number 4, drink a gallon. That's right, a gallon of water per day. Number 2, do 2 45-minute workouts per day, and they can't be consecutively. You have to take a break in between, and one of those workouts has to be outside regardless of the elements. Number 6, no alcohol and no cheat meals, as I said before, for 75 days straight. Zero compromise, no bullshit. So I'm going to go back and highlight each one of these and let you know which one was the hardest for me and the one I got the most insights for. Number 1, follow a diet. This was the absolute hardest one for me. I don't know about any of you, but I always justify like a cheat meal. I'm like, oh, I did really well during the week. I'm going to have a cheat meal on Friday and Saturday, and it's okay, and I deserve this. I've never gone longer than 5 or 6 days without cheating. So when I was like on day like 20, 30, I'm like, fuck, I've actually eaten clean and done that. I've had a lot of problems with like food addiction and binge eating and stuff like that. That's why I got so fucking fat. That's why I was 100 pounds heavier than where I was. And it just kind of creeps up on you. Food is like my coping mechanism when I'm sad or depressed. I want to eat food because it's just what we did. I grew up, I'm an Italian kid, and we just ate and ate and ate. Mangia, 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 like they say in the Italian world. And it really creeped up. So actually, following the diet was actually the hardest part for me, but I did it and I stuck to it. It was hard, like on especially like Friday and Saturday, like I felt this urge, like I was missing out. I was like, and I did this like during July 4th too. And I didn't eat shit. And it was hard at first. You know, I was at my family barbecue and everyone was just eating a bunch of bullshit and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. And they were like, oh, you can just cheat. I'm like, fuck you. Leave me alone. Next one, take a progress picture. This one wasn't hard at all because I'm just a very regimented person and I set a timer on my phone. They even have an app for the 75 hard one, which is really good. So that one wasn't hard at all. 10 pages of reading. So I really struggle with reading. I almost have like a problem with my brain when I read a physical book. Like I get a headache and I really have trouble focusing. I had some head trauma in football that really kind of fucked me up over the years. And when I read, I kind of get headaches. So I like to read audiobooks and listen to audiobooks. The thing when I was doing audiobooks and listening to them is you can do other things when you're listening to an audiobook and you go through. When you're actually physically reading a book, you have to go in there and sit down and do that. And that's been one of my favorite rituals across the board is sitting down and reading that book each day. I really look forward to it. And it can't be like some trashy fucking romance novel, like actual good books about business, about life, self-development. I've read some really amazing books and I really had a lot of good focus because it's quiet in the morning when I read it and I'm really physically reading that book. And that's been something that's really good. Drink a gallon of H2o. This one's kind of hard for people, but I lived in Florida and it was always fucking hot and I always stay hydrated. So drinking a gallon of water wasn't that hard for me. I actually drink like 2 gallons of water a day. And people are like, well, I'm going to pee a lot. Yeah, you'll pee a lot at first, but think of your body as like a sponge. At first, it's really dry. And when you get water, it really likes it and it'll start pissing it out. But once you get in there, you do that. You drink a gallon of water, you're going to be feeling pretty good. 2 45-minute workouts. This one was tough for me. I'm really good about getting an initial workout in the morning. I like to walk and move. The hard part was the 45 minutes outside, regardless of elements. I walked in thunderstorms. I walked in hot ass heat, things like that. And no matter what, you get out there and you do your workout outside. And a lot of people are like, well, that's dangerous. No, it's not about that. It's mental fucking toughness and being disciplined for that. And what I found was I got a lot of time back and a lot of freedom having to schedule these workouts in. During it, I taught a whole seminar and then I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to get this done. So the day I taught a seminar, it started at like 8 a.m. in the morning. And I knew at the end of the day, I wasn't going to want to do my workout. So I knew I had to get them up. So I got up at 3 a.m, did a 45-minute workout, read my books, did my shit, and then went outside at 4:30 and did the other workout. And I was fucking smoked, but you know what? I did it and I stuck through it. It really just helps you with time management. I get these people all the time. They're like, I'm so busy. I don't know what to do. And they just overwhelm and they're like, blah, 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 blah. I'm so busy. No, you're not busy. You just don't fucking prioritize. And when you can prioritize these things, it's going to put you on a whole different level. Last one, no alcohol. No alcohol for 75 days. That wasn't a huge challenge for me. Yeah, I used to be a binge drinker and did all that, but I really got away from drinking a lot of alcohol. So this one wasn't as hard for me. This would have been harder a couple of years ago when I was drinking a lot and depressed and things like that. The big hard part for me, like I said, was the cheat meals. You know, I actually like to partake in some medical marijuana. And when I do medical marijuana, I want to binge eat. So that was actually my crutch and my vice. I didn't have any marijuana at all during this journey. So the basic idea behind 75 Hard is mental toughness. People think it's like a diet. It is a diet, but it's not that. It's getting your shit in order, getting your physical stuff in order, getting your mental stuff in order, getting your business stuff in order, and getting your relationships in order. And you know what? After I was going through this and I was on like day 61, 62, I felt like a fucking machine. I felt like I could run through the wall. I've been busier than ever with my clinics. I've been busier than ever with my seminars. I'm just showing up better. I have more time than I've ever had in the entire world. I got a lot of people that reached out and they're like, hey, what do you think about 75 Hard? I'm like, just fucking do it. Don't make excuses. They're like, I don't think I can do it. It's not for me. I didn't think so either, but just fucking do it. You will be a machine. You will be in a better place than anyone else in the entire world, because with COVID and everything going on, people are slowing down. They're putting their foot on the brake. Put your foot on the accelerator. Start it now. Don't make excuses. Just fucking go. You will thank yourself and you will be a whole different version of yourself. And I'm so thankful for Andy Frisella for creating this and doing this. This program isn't for everybody, but it's for the people that want to get their shit in order. You know what you need to do. You know you're struggling. You're looking for all these quick fixes and things like that. It doesn't come from that. It comes from daily discipline, holding yourself accountable, and doing what's right for yourself. Being selfish about your health, putting yourself in a different place. In the 75 Hard program, I guarantee if you stick to it and you do it the right way, will change your life forever. That's all I got. I went a little bit longer on this one than normal, but hey, I want to help you tactically. I want to help you motivationally, and I want to help you become the best version of yourself, because if you don't help yourself first, you can't help anybody else. And you know your personal shit is bleeding over. I've been there. I've been depressed. I've been anxious. I've had all these problems, and I still do, but I can control them because I control the things that are important. What I put in my body, what I put in my mind, what I do exercise movement wise, and how I show up for the day. And you know what? You're going to create a lot more time and a lot more energy, because you're going to undo the bullshit and the excuses that are out there. If you want to learn more, go follow 75 Hard. It's all free. He doesn't sell anything. Reach out to me if you want to talk about it. I'm always awesome to talk about it with, and I'll be honest with you about what's going on. Fuck the holidays coming up. Start now. Don't be like, I'm going to start on January 1st. Fuck that shit. Crush it through Thanksgiving. Crush it through Christmas, and you're going to be a whole different version of yourself. Get the free training. Come train with me. All that good shit. Share this show out. All that stuff. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. If you want help on the path to being able to double your income, all while working 50% less and being taken seriously as a healthcare provider, I have some great resources for you. Number one, get access to our free training modules and introduction to my system, the Peak Method. Number two, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Soft Tissue Revolution. Links to all of this can be found in the show notes. Lastly, if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star review and share it with others that you know it could help.